Hey yo, what is sizzling with the daily viewers, the Chico Army, and of course if you're an interested stranger, a viewer of the tube. I'm the host of this crypto channel, Tyler, that breaks down these crypto markets better than this German guy showing off his newly built piano.
Passiert gar nichts, aber wenn man den Bockwurstwärmer anfasst und dabei die Wurst drückt.
You know our Ludween Von Beefthoven. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, if you haven't noticed, there is a ton of buzzing and bubbly hype surrounding a certain altcoin, and that is Ethereum. And for good reason. Yesterday, the public launch of the Medalla testnet launched with a live stream, and it was successful, with new blocks being received and validated. So this has caused a staking party of people trying to get that required amount of ETH to become a staking validator node, and that number is 32 Ethereum. Since 2017, the number of addresses who hold 32 Ethereum or greater has been on a steady upwards climb, even during the brutal bear markets. But as we can see more recently, a big old spike up, and zooming in on it, we can see the number of addresses jumped from about 117k to about 123k, a 5% increase in just a week. So on-chain data is bullish for the future of Ethereum, and now we have people saying the flippening watch is back on schedule. And if you don't know what that is, it was a popular website that tracked crypto market dominance for Bitcoin and Ethereum, when in 2017 it looked like Ether might for a second flip Bitcoin, but that petered out. Plus, the value of that staking number, 32 Ethereum, it in just past 5 days crossed an important mark. 32 ETH is now more valuable than a whole Bitcoin, as one Bitcoin equals just over 28 Ether. And like I've been showing the past week, all altcoins are bending the knee to the power of Ethereum by building bridges, converters, interoperability solutions, whatever they like to call it. But the thing about each and every one of these is they are brand new. 95% of them not even built or constructed yet. And the ones that are untested and rarely utilized. But what about a bridge and bridges that have been in the works for a good long while, and it will allow Ethereum to scale much faster than Ethereum 2.0. And that bridge comes from a person who created the Ethereum virtual machine, the Solidity language, and the still to this day second most used Ethereum client. You should know who and what I'm talking about, Gavin Wood's Polkadot. Now, the Polkadot ecosystem is a bit different than Ethereum's. Polkadot is built more as the ISP of blockchains, where data slots are available for blockchains to plug into. The relay chain can be considered the ISP, as it's for the shared security and inter-chain message passing. The parachain is a blockchain slot that has its own logic. But the thing about these parachains is they will be limited in the beginning for security and stability of the platform. In the beginning, there will be 10 to 30 permanent chains, including system tools, bridges, and nested relays, which are pure functionality based, deployed through governance and no native token. Then there will be 40 to 90 leased parachain slots, which are privately operated and leased through a non-permissioned candle auction. And finally, there is the Parathread pool, which is a pay-as-you-go type model for those looking to test the Polkadot security, scalability, or governance waters, and there are 50 of those that can execute per block. So the Ethereum bridges, they will get an automatic slot. They will be voted in by the DOT token holders through governance. And what's beautiful about Gavin being so close to Ethereum, co-founding it, writing and developing base code, is Polkadot will have the most complex bridges out the gate. From the Polkadot wiki on the Ethereum bridge, it says, as explained by Dr. Gavin Wood in a blog post from late 2019, there are 3 ways that the Polkadot and Substrate ecosystem can be bridged to the Ethereum ecosystem. Number 1, the Polkadot to Ethereum public bridge. Number 2, the Substrate to Parity Ethereum, now Open Ethereum bridge. And number 3, the substrate EVM module. Choices of how to cross the bridge, my friends, and that is what makes Polkadot so appealing to the most important thing, the developers. And this next point is what makes the DOT ecosystem so appealing to a certain niche of blockchain devs, the DeFi soldiers. So Ethereum bridges could make up 2, maybe even 3 permanent parachain slots. Another permanent one will of course be Bitcoin, but other parachains, if you have a token, you need to lease the parachain slot, and those are going to be limited and they are going fast. As we can see, some of them are already being filled. Chainlink, Energy Web, iExec, Chainx, and a lot more are already potential slots. And speaking of more, going to polkaproject.com, we can see a total of 185 are now pushing and competing for up to 100 parachain slots, although some of those will be reserved for bridges and the like. You have to remember that. Why will this happen? Well, Ethereum is at a crossroads, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum were in 2017. The markets and thus transactions are moving faster than their blockchains can scale. Fees are once again getting redonkulous, growing month by month throughout the year for both of the blockchains. On July 30th, Bitcoin peaked at a $6 average transaction fee, and Ethereum on August 2nd peaked at nearly a $2 average transaction fee. Sorry, it just can't be like that, and I know Ethereum 2.0 just launched their testnet, but that isn't helping anything scale in the short term, my friends. It is just to see if a proof of stake blockchain can even work. Now, as most of us know, Polkadot just went live into a permissionless, governable proof of stake blockchain. Gavin, he counted it down and announced it on Twitter. As we can see, there are 197 validators, with 190 waiting to be chosen by the pool of 1,338 nominators. The chain has been running well with a large validator set. It's already a lot farther than Ethereum, and the next phase is governance, which they are in right now, enabling the suite of governing modules, including committees and public proposals. And this is where things with Polkadot take a turn towards a rapidly evolving system in which DOT holders will shape its future, including the parachains involved. Because, as you can see from the roadmap, the next 2 upgrades are just enabling token transfers and the governance passing a couple of runtime upgrades. And then parachains, which we can see is a factor of governance. The DOT holders get to vote on enabling the auctions. Like mentioned, the parachain slots for private enterprises with a token are leased through a candle auction, and they need to pay with DOT tokens. And in my opinion, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be cheap to get one of these slots. You're going to need to be well established within the ecosystem. You might have need to receive grants from the Web3 Foundation, and you might have need to participated at their boot camps. And there is no better place to look for those deeply ingrained in the Polkadot ecosystem than their wiki. Bridges and Ethereum smart contracts are highly important, right? I wonder if a project is mentioned as a bridge builder for smart contracts. Oh, there is the Edge ETH bridge, which is an Ethereum to edgeware chain bridge. Yeah, edgeware. They are a Polka project who is more than likely to become one of those coveted initial parachain slots. And edgeware, they just put out a roadmap for the rest of 2020, which is exciting to say the least. Now, you remember how I said Kusama, the canary network of Polkadot, is going to be important. Well, for those who aren't up to speed, it's Polkadot's live test network where the tokens have value in the test environment. So the process of technology being launched into Polkadot will go like this. First, a project will launch into a canary network with Kusama. They will test, work out the kinks, and make sure nothing breaks. And then they will go live into Polkadot. Well, from Edgeware's roadmap, they are doing just that. Edgeware on Kusama, they say, is coming this quarter. Quarter number 3, an Edgeware canary network bonded to Kusama as a parachain. And as we can see, it was requested by the Kusama community, aka Polkadot. It's a testnet, by the way, and it would help expand Edgeware's reach in the Polkadot ecosystem, basically guaranteeing them a parachain slot. But also in quarter 3 this quarter, or in quarter 4, there's the big one, the Ethereum compatibility, tying up the ends of their Ethereum bridges for smart contracts, which includes coming in and working on the compatibility layer Frontier being developed by Gavin Wood's Parity. So if the roadmap is stuck to and these things happen, by the end of the year, DeFi protocols can and will build on edgeware or bridge their assets to edgeware and thus the larger Polkadot ecosystem, including Kusama, and if parachains are live, most likely DOT. So all the breadcrumbs are left that edgeware will be a leading component of Polkadot and a smart contract chain that will be utilized by other parachains, dApps, and the DeFi ecosystem coming to Kusama and DOT. Which in the roadmap, they give an example of parachain bonding, which they say is coming in the fall of 2020. They say as other parachains like Akala and Laminar become functional, it will become important for edgeware to support them. By bonding as a parachain, edgeware will be linked to 20+ projects working in the Polkadot ecosystem. So Akala, the stablecoin project, I have mentioned it before. They are similar to edgeware in that they're more than likely going to get a parachain slot with their cross-chain stablecoin solution. Now I want to finish this episode off with a few projects I'm looking at within this ecosystem who I believe could fill parachain slots. Remember, I said those projects who are involved, maybe receive grants, have a better likelihood of becoming one. Well, there is a nice list on the Polka Wiki which lists all the Web3 grants. They've had 5 waves, growing in size each time. And how on earth can each of these be a parachain if there are only 100 initial slots? Well, many of these are tools, wallets, explorers, and the like, and they won't be its own parachain. But many in the list are, and there is a likelihood some will and some won't make it. In the list, there is Soramitsu, those behind XOR, part of Wave 1. Very nice, but I've already mentioned that one, and I'm sure you guys want something new. And down there in Wave 5, there is another one I'm bullish on, Centrifuge, not new. But in Wave 4, there is a new one I'm looking at, Kadena, as a packed feasibility study was conducted. So what is Kadena and what is this packed study? Well, Kadena is a public blockchain that is a braided, multi-chain, high-throughput proof-of-work system. Yes, Kadena is mined through a proof-of-work algorithm and hash power, and it's live right now. So are we going back to the old proof-of-work system? Well, not exactly. It has been improved upon for scalability, which can be visualized on their block explorer. It shows the mining, propagation, and braiding of the blocks across multiple Kadena chains in real time. So what about Pact? What is that? Well, it's their smart contract language, and it's the first truly human-readable one. It lets anyone write clearly, directly, and safely onto a blockchain, as it's Turing incomplete, meaning it's bulletproof compared with other languages. And this is exactly what Polkadot is researching. I wonder why. Well, Kadena is a product of JP Morgan's Blockchain Center for Excellence with JP Vets behind the project, and their suite of tools are already integrated with both AWS and Microsoft Azure. So Kadena is no joke. They are ready for the blockchain revolution to serve both private and public. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.